Because I'm old, I know my stuff. That's why I can tell you.
In this episode of Dinner with Alex and Mark, we ask why growing older no longer seems to make us wiser, and whether modern life in Singapore is changing what it means to age well. What if growing old isn't the hard part? What if we've simply forgotten how to do it well?
Depends on what kind of old person you turn into, right?
How come you see all these old people mansplaining? You seldom see them like curious or in awe of something.
Have we mistaken age for wisdom? Or have we stopped cultivating the curiosity that allows people to ripen with age?
The youth that is now relying on AI has no chance to gain the 10,000 cases experience. This youth actually is disadvantaged.
If AI can answer everything, do we still need to understand how things work? Or is it the process itself which shapes our judgment and eventually our wisdom?
So I don't understand how the gear system works, right?
Yeah.
I can still do a stick shift, and some people also don't know, they use auto. But then we can all get the car from A to B.
Yes.
When convenience replaces experience, what do we gain and what do we lose?
Girls or boys, everyone should learn cooking because it's a basic skill, right? It's a life skill.
And if we lose that, then what is the meaning to life, right?
Maybe the question isn't why we're getting older. Maybe it's why we're becoming so bad at growing old.
I know more, I'm probably more correct, and then that leads to the mansplaining thing.
Welcome to this episode of Dinner with Alex and Mark.
Name the title, my man.
Aging. What impresses me is when I come into a scenario and then I need someone who has the necessary life experience to hold back, to be patient, assimilate all available inputs, and then he comes up with these few pearls of wisdom that just like cut straight to your heart.
The wisdom of old age.
The wisdom of old age. You don't see a lot of that nowadays because I think even the old have taken on the problems of the young. They behave like young people, young punks.
For example?
Like, okay, Singaporean drivers. Let's say you're 50, how should you drive? Someone cuts into your lane, you horn, you get angry? Or you say, okay, never mind.
So, gracious old people.
Yes. And in fact, actually, there are some old attributes in the young ones which then become very appealing. They are the young people that people really fall in love with. But actually, if you dissect it, it's not related to age. It's related to what we traditionally associate with. Hey, as you grow older, you become more graceful, become more mature, more patient, more wise. We don't get that so much. Everyone's so preoccupied with youth that even like the old people now, they exhibit this kind of youthful arrogance. As a physician, there are certain things that we were forced to go through the manual process of learning, listening to heart sounds, interpreting signs and symptoms. I would argue that that whole long process, manual process, gave us a certain set of skills and experiences that actually now the youth with AI cannot replicate. Let's say if AI is reading an X-ray versus previously when the X-ray you had to have a person manually gain the 10,000 cases to read it. The youth that is now relying on AI has no chance to gain the 10,000 cases experience. And he also does not know how the AI is making that decision. No chance. Because the AI is already better than his senior consultant. So, given those two choices, right, I would say, let the AI do the reading. Then you learn from the AI. But they can't learn from the AI because that decision making and the reasoning is based on millions of cases, not explainable. This youth actually is disadvantaged, in this particular area. Yeah.
Cannot make his or her own judgment.
Yeah, and can't tell whether the AI is right or wrong. Don't have the experience.
Yeah.
Whereas if I had to choose to pick someone to train the AI and hey, is the AI right or wrong? I will pick the one with the manual experience
Yeah,
to go and train the AI.
that's correct.
That's the irony of
Yeah.
rapid advance.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's true.
I would say something that, okay, immediately I think about cars.
Yeah,
So I don't understand how the gear system works, right?
yeah.
And I can still do a stick shift. And some people also don't know, they use auto. But then when it comes to function, we can all get the car from A to B.
Yes.
And maybe I'm not the expert, I'm not a mechanic. And maybe in medicine, there's some aspect of that being mostly true, and 80-20 rule may apply for the most part, except for some exceptional cases.
So what you're trying to say is, so long as you get to your destination, it doesn't matter, right?
Doesn't matter so much already.
Yeah.
And because of the advancement of civilization, I mean, I don't know how to make a fire, for example, because I got gas stove. What?
That's true. That's
I
what
would
I feel
argue,
also. Yeah.
That what makes us human is the ability not to seek control.
Not what?
Seek control, not to give up our control. The moment we are unable to understand, we lost the battle, you know. Why? Let's say there's a Holocaust, right? And you need to make your fire, right? You cannot survive, you know.
Yeah,
And-
but what's the chance of having a Holocaust?
Okay, maybe something simpler. Let's say you cede control to the AI for making decisions. If you don't understand,
Yeah.
you no longer know whether what the AI is suggesting is right or wrong, you know.
I think that's for important things. Like true lah, like a medical student should retain the ability to read an X-ray accurately, right? But
I don't know also tough, man.
you don't know Okay,
Yeah.
so for example,
So
I
tough.
always like
But I agree, yeah.
I kind of
generally.
look down on people who cannot even cook simple dishes because I feel like girls or boys, everyone should learn cooking because it's a basic skill, right? It's a life skill. But then when I think about it, is it really true? Like, will things happen to you if you don't know how to cook, right? So these are pretty non-essential, I would say, in our current society. So is it okay for us to lose that?
Interesting. Sorry, I know you keep very quiet, but I to say something. You know, they always say when you eat rice, right? You must appreciate the farmer that made it.
Yeah.
So when you mention the cooking example, for me it's like I want to learn how to cook because if I don't know the intricate steps, when I eat a meal, right, that everything has been done for me. Actually, I don't have the wealth of experience and back-end knowledge to appreciate the beauty of the meal, you know. I cannot. And then in so doing, actually I lose meaning in life. I mean, I lose the richness of meaning in life. Maybe I appreciate things at a certain level, but beyond that, I'm like,
But a lot of white people are like that. They eat bread and cheese and then they're okay with it. And their life is still very good, you know? Doesn't matter. So how important is this richness of life?
richness.
It's
For me,
important
it's
to
very
us because we like to eat food, right? We appreciate it deeply. It gives us a lot of
Complexity
joy, right?
is
Yeah. Then there's a nuance in it, you know, it's a very deep knowledge, right? But to a lot of people it doesn't matter.
I mean, but I think that we will extrapolate that it's not just on food actually, it's about being able to appreciate the process or the creation of something and then looking at the outcome and gaining a deep satisfaction or admiration for the outcome or maybe frustration even because you understand the process. And yes, I agree that makes life worth living. And if we lose that, then what is the meaning to life, right? But I was thinking about what you all said about, you know, whether is it essentials only that is important to learn the foundational things like being able to look at the x-ray or being able to learn cooking. And actually recently our company CEO did like a kickoff speech. In his speech actually it's quite interesting that he said, you know, that we are a consequential company and we're thinking about the frontier and the sort of mindset that we need to approach as we take on this work day to day, right? AI is great, it's another like tectonic shift, like from when steam engine was created, and then you have cloud and now you have AI, right? But what AI shouldn't replace is the human ingenuity. And for the human ingenuity to actually blossom, the human actually needs to understand what is actually being created in the first place in order to create or sort of so-called solve the impossible, right? So then his urge to us was actually to, especially for managers and people who manage team to pay more attention to the detail or the minutiae of doing things. Like pay more attention to it, sit more closely to it. Even if you don't know how to code, but pay attention to how your teams who can code and talk about the steps, talk about the details, because it's through these kind of mastery of the steps that would allow you to eventually, create a better product, empower others, and really help your team do better. So I feel like that can be applied in many ways of our lives, and it's not just limited to just like knowing how to cook, to appreciate, the actual dish, but simple things that we should embrace as we live is like thinking about the projection of voice, like how is voice created, the fact that we can speak to each other now and hear each other, like this is like the essence of life. Like even this is it's so inspiring, like at least for me, right? Learning how to maybe be in awe of the little things in life creates that wonder. And I think I read it somewhere that it says, besides happiness, joy, right? Being in awe is actually
Best predictor
yes,
of satisfaction.
correct,
Yeah, I saw
correct.
that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow. Is that the
ties
second
back to
wisest
the
thing you've
aging.
heard in your life?
It is.
No.
It
I
is.
feel like that ties back to the aging topic somehow, right?
How does it tie back to the aging? How did we come to this?
Yeah, I don't know how we came to this.
Older people have the right
yes.
judgment on the correct X-ray.
Yeah. And whether or not like with age comes with that. And then he was talking about capitalism and AI.
Rapid change.
Yeah, and
Oh,
he's-
the repetition. I think
yeah.
that's very salient. The repetition is very true.
And then we started talking about, okay, is it destination only? Actually, what I'm hearing is maybe not, because I agree with her CEO. We need to understand the details of the change or the technology that is giving us the output for it to be meaningful.
Right. And then I think my last point is something it's like a reminder for myself also. Like I'm generally someone who's quite excitable, like, optimistic and easily inspired. But then I realized that to Mark's point, like how come you see all these old people mansplaining? You seldom see them like curious or in awe of something. I'm also thinking why. Is it, health issues, financial burdens that comes with it?
Maybe
Or,
their RAM just full already.
yeah, or like
No, but what about the idea that because I'm old, I know my stuff, that's why I can tell you. And then also the lack of consciousness that maybe things have changed
yeah.
and maybe your perspectives are not as relevant now, which I feel is going to be my fate as I get older. But you guys don't seem to think so.
Yeah,
I mean, it depends on what kind of old person you turn into, right?
So what Mark is saying is he's highlighting the negative effects, natural negative effects of growing old. You naturally think since you've been around longer, okay, I know more, I'm probably more correct, and then that leads to the mansplaining thing. Then I think we need to guard against that. Because we need to be aware that in this current world where there are so many unknowns, that may no longer be true.
Yeah.
Whereas previously it was. And then when we have that new framework for aging, we will highlight the more positive aspects.
I love your optimism and hope.